Hello, I hope everyone's having a good day today. I wanted to come on here real quick and share with you something from the Sale-a-Bration catalog. The Sale-a-Bration is good through February 28th with a qualifying order of $50 for some things or $100 for other things. And one of the things I wanted to share with you is this cute stamp set called Adorable Owls. It comes with 3 owls and 3 sentiments, and it's free with a $50 order. So this is the card that I'm going to make with it. We're going to start with a card base that is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper that is cut at 4 1/4. And I've already scored it ahead of time. It's scored at 5 1/2, which makes it fold in half, and 4 1/4. This is called a bookbinding fold card. If I can open it. We're going to fold this back on itself like that. So the card will open like this. Okay, and then I have some tear and tape to seal this shut. You can use green glue or you can use any kind of adhesive that you want, but you want it to be an adhesive that is strong enough to hold this closed because, well, if you have thin cardstock, I guess it doesn't matter, but the Stampin' Up! Cardstock is pretty thick. It's pretty heavy cardstock. So you want an adhesive that's going to hold it shut. And the color of my card base is called a Mango Melody. It's kind of like an orangey color. And then you just peel back the adhesive protection, whatever you want to call it. And burnish it really well so it stays shut. Okay, and then this is the card base. It's going to open like this. Then I took a 4 by 4 square of Petal Pink, and I used a corner rounder on opposite corners. And we're going to seal that down. It's going to go like this, though. So for this, I'm going to use, if I can get it started, I'm going to use the green glue. It's very tacky. It adheres very well, and it dries pretty fast. Wait, it won't come out. Let's see if this one will come out. And you don't need a lot. You don't want it to squish out because it is very tacky. And it leaves kind of a glossy look when it's dry, so you don't want it oozing out. And then I'm looking, I don't think you guys can see the score line, but there's a score line right here, and I'm just looking to make sure that my margins are pretty equal all the way around. And I'm going to push that down. And then I'm using a piece of paper, pattern paper from, I think it's called Dandy Designs. Yes, Dandy Designs. This is also a Sale-a-Bration item. It's free with a $100 purchase, and it's a huge paper pack with lots of colors, lots of designs. And I just love it. I love this one because it made me think of the 70s, and I grew up in the 70s, and this just made me think of like roller skating and disco and bell bottoms and you know, the little patches that our moms would put on our holey pants. Now people buy holey pants at a ridiculous price, but that is a conversation for another day. So we're going to layer this on there like that. Okay, and the green glue gives you a little wiggle room. If you don't like where it's placed, you can kind of slide it over a little bit more. Okay, then I'm going to take a piece of this cardstock. I forgot to cut it down, so I'm going to cut it down real quick. It's going to be 1 inch by 4 inches. So 1 inch by 4 inches. And then I'm going to take my corner rounder again, and I'm going to do the same thing I did with these papers. I'm just going to, I'm going to punch opposite corners. If I can get it lined up. So I'm going to get it lined up. I'm going to flip this around. And I'm going to do this corner. No, I'm going to do this corner. Oh my goodness. There is some math involved in card making, and sometimes I get myself a little confused. Okay, so then we're going to put this down right here. You can put it here like this, or you can flip it around like this. But I'm gonna have it go like this. Okay, and a little green glue for that. Stick that down. That's too high, so I'm going to slide it down a little bit. Just like that. Okay, now I'm going to bring in these two circles. One of them is just a regular circle, and the other one is scalloped. And this is out of the Layering Circles die set. So, okay, so now I have my Petal Pink. This is a 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 square. I'm going to bring in my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, which I love because it's super lightweight, it's super tiny. It works really well for small images. And now I have 3. Okay, so this, you're going to want to make sure that, I don't know if you can see this, let's get this up here. You're going to want to make sure that the circles are kind of lined up because we're going to make this scalloped border right here. We're making this part right here. So it's kind of a frame around the owl. So we're going to line this up as best as we can. And then put the other plate on top. And let's get it lined up well. And put this down. And the mini machine, if you stagger the number 2 plates, it cuts a little better. If you stack them right on top of each other, you kind of have to force it through, and it doesn't really want to go through very well. So I stagger them a little bit, and it cuts a lot smoother. Okay, and then we end up with our scallop border, and then we also end up with a circle that we can use on another project later. And we also end up with a stencil if you want to do like some sponge daubing or blending. You could use this, just like tack it down with a glue dot and use this as a frame to color in on a card. But we're just going to use this for now. And then I need to bring in another circle die and our white cardstock. So we're going to put this on there and crank this through just like we did the other one. Make sure that it's not like running off the sides of the paper so that you get a full circle. And then here is our circle. So we're going to stamp our owl on this circle. And with the red rubber dies, you don't have to put anything underneath, but Stampin' Up! Also sells photopolymer, which are clear stamps, and those you should really stamp on something spongy underneath. But for now, we're just going to use the red rubber dies. Oh, it's right in front of my face. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. So we're going to put that out of the way. We're going to bring in our Memento black ink. We're going to stamp this guy up really well. And then we're just going to stamp him on there in the center. Okay, just like that. Make sure you don't I get black on my fingers all the time. So just make sure you get it cleaned off before you start touching other stuff so you don't transfer to other places. I will not color this because I know that's kind of boring to watch. And then we're going to put glue on here. And again, you don't need a lot. You just want to drag it so that it's just barely wet, because otherwise it's going to squish out and not be as pretty if it's not squishing out. And just get it all the way around. Okay, and then we're gonna pick up our white one and we're just gonna eyeball it. It doesn't have to be perfect. I do turn it over though and see if there's like, you know, equal-ish border around the back side. So there's our little owl. He's so cute. I love him. Okay, and then we're gonna bring our card back in that we glued down already. And then we're gonna put dimensionals on the back of him, or let's see if I can get my dimensionals. You guys, I've been organizing my craft area, and you wouldn't know it by looking at it right now because it's still kind of a mess, but it's getting better. I have like little labels on my little boxes, and I've been trying to put them away when I'm done using them so I can find them again later. Does anyone else have a problem with making a huge mess and you just don't want to deal with it, so you don't? That's like the story of my life. So we are going to put dimensionals on this guy and pop him up, and I'll color him in later. And then we're gonna take some sequins, my take your pick tool, because I like, this has like a little putty tip end right here, and it makes it really easy to pick up gems and sequins and stuff like that. So we're gonna get these little sequins over here, and we're just gonna pick these up with the putty end, and I'm just gonna put them down wherever I feel like putting them. Oops, that one didn't want to come off. Still doesn't want to come off. That's weird. Okay, and then there, and then there. Now our card is done. Once I can color it in or whatever, and then if you want to put his greeting on the inside, he has a little party hat, and so one of these little saying sentiments says it's your day, so it could be like, you know, a birthday card. But I just think these little owls are so stinking cute, and they were super fun to color in. I find coloring to be very relaxing, and it was fun. It was fun to do this card. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my channel if you liked it. I will put the information about these products in the description below. And if you have any questions, please leave a comment and I will be happy to answer. Thank you.